Hi, I'm Joyce, the Energy Lady. I have always taught this and always believed this, and it's a concept that God doesn't show us what's at the end of the road. He only shows us things in steps. So if there's something you're asking for or you're wanting and you're saying, and you're praying for it and you're asking the universe for it, and something shows up in front of you that this is what's next, but you're looking at it like, no, I want that. I want what's at the end. For an example, God, I need $30,000. What shows up is 1,000. And a few days later, 2,000. Another day later, $100. It doesn't all just drop in your lap at once, and sometimes it does. But the other thing I've learned is that when we are asked to do something, because we've asked, when I asked God, I would like to have a business and I'd like clients, I'd like to teach courses, this is what I want to do. And then all of a sudden, I got to do my part and things start showing up. Doors start opening. My very first trip to China, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life at all. My youngest daughter was leaving home. So when I prayed about it, what can I do with my life? I didn't know that the opportunity to go teach in China was a thing was going to show up, which was my next step. Because that certainly did not look like I thought it was going to look of what was my next step in life. But that first trip, 2011, my first trip to China, really opened the doors for me to start teaching. And I immediately came home and said, okay, God, that was awesome. Now what? Number one, I heard write a book. I didn't want to do that. The other one was go teach everybody what you learned. And I said, I don't know what that looks like. I don't have a platform to teach from. So within just a couple of weeks, people were literally asking me to come speak to their groups. That was the door that opened for me to start teaching. And then opportunities start opening again for me to teach in other ways. And consequently, now I teach seminars. And I was reminded of this because I'm visiting in Nebraska, attending a marketing workshop. And I went into a beautiful little gift shop that had Christian books and gifts and trinkets and cards and beautiful little things. It was an awesome store and it was huge. And I spoke to the woman who owned the store. And I said, is this like a dream of yours? Is this something that you've always wanted to do? And she said, oh, absolutely not. I had no idea this is what I was going to do. She said, I just had a friend who had this shop and she was shutting down and she was selling everything. And it was very small. And so I took it on thinking, this is her words. She says, I took it on thinking, I'll just, do it and I'll sell everything in it and then I'll close it down. But then when she realized the space she had, it was actually an old vaudeville theater that the town had years and years ago. So it went way back. So she started exploring the space she had and realized, well, there's a lot that could be done with this. And she just slowly started expanding it to the point now where it's a good sized store. And she has a lot of beautiful things in there. And it's called Treasures, I believe. And it's a lot of beautiful treasures. But I said, when you first opened this, did you know this is what would happen in the end? She goes, oh, absolutely not. If I knew that, I would have said, no, I don't want it. But she said, now that I have it, I love it, and I'm glad I have it. But at the very beginning, I would not. So when things present to you, because you've asked for it, don't shut that door immediately because you thought, this isn't how I thought it was going to look, or this seems too small. Open the door, walk in, do that, then the next door is going to open. I call it the evolving door. So you step into each evolving door because that is how God presents things. If he were to present the whole big chunk at once, you would not have taken a bite. You would not even have walked in. So Take them in baby steps and know that you're only going to be presented things step by step. So take those steps. Don't shun those open doors. Don't push them shut. Walk in, take those steps, and wait for the next door to open. So let me know if you have questions about this or opportunities or stories of your own. I would love to hear. Please book a consult with me and let me know.